It's Wednesday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for another episode of the Alabama Slam podcast. I'm your host, Corey Hanna.
What's going on, guys? It's Patrick Akers.
And I'm Steven.
And we're going to go ahead and get started for the week. We've got a lot of things to cover, a lot happening this week in the week of wrestling, I guess. The biggest was last Wednesday on Dynamite. It's been almost a week since, we record on Tuesdays. So, of course, Mercedes makes her debut.
The shocker of the century.
Everybody was surprised about that one, right?
She gets a rocket strapped on her, shoots her right to the middle.
Yeah.
So let's just go talk about that first. What'd you guys think about the way they presented her and her first?
She's in Boston for this. I want that to be known. She's in Boston for this. This is her hometown. This is the loudest it's going to get.
Possibly, yeah.
And while they were trying to hype that crowd was yelling CEO a lot, that's the song. You can tell that's the song because when the music ends, you don't hear that chanting like you do when the music ends. And it's not like that music has a long fade out or anything. It's an abrupt ending. And them cheers ain't there. So they're cheering, but it ain't the presentation they're presenting.
Well, it's a little bit like the Ospreay thing, right? Ospreay's song. No one was doing the Ospreay stuff when he debuted here in Huntsville because nobody kind of knew it yet. I would expect the CEO chants to kind of keep going as she gets to other places. She definitely looked like a star. She looked like $1 million. I'm not entirely sure what she's the CEO of, but she looks the part. I'll give her that.
But we were hopeful when she joined up that they were going to put her in a program for that the women's title. And she's in a program with Willow, who's in a program with Julia Hart, which is a TV title at best.
Yeah, but this is...
For how long?
Yeah, I would expect that she gets
probably
the title.
only because she had the run-in with Willow at New Japan last year, right? They've worked together before, et cetera, et cetera. So that's an easy one to shoehorn her into and then move her on to the next one.
But this is your biggest female hire. Diana how do you say her last name? Purrazzo comes in right to the top. Mercedes Mone is your biggest. You have spent the equivalent of Ospreay money on her. And you're booking her in the middle at best.
But if she can come in and she can help Willow go to a next level, I think what they're going to do is turn Willow and Statlander heel with Stokely Hathaway. Because it seems like Stokely would trying to get them to use the chain unsuccessfully and not doing it. So if she can come in at least for one pay-per-view and be in a big-time match with Willow Nightingale and then move to the women's title, because we have to think if they're only doing 4 pay-per-views a year, then shoot her to the top. But now they're doing 9. Dynasty is a month away?
It's a month away.
Right, a month. So after Dynasty, if Toni Storm finishes whatever she's doing, then you could possibly move into Mercedes and Toni Storm, or wait till Wembley and do a big matchup between the two of them. I don't mind that they're not hot-shotting her straight to the top.
This to me is just a more further example of just, yes, they got the main event this time. They got a main event on Dynamite, on females. But that division is such a laughing stock that even by hiring the most coveted free agent person, you got nothing for them.
Well, but then everybody would be bitching if she immediately got the title shot in a month.
Well, what would it matter? Everybody else who came in like that has gotten the title shot within a month.
I think let's wait and see how it plays out. Like I said, she looks like a star. She looks like $1 million. Probably part of her reasoning, if you listen to some of the interviews, much like an Ospreay, she seems like the type of person who wants to try to, and Danielson, to try to elevate people along the way. So, if we get to August and she's still doing this, then that's probably an issue. But I would suspect this is a short-lived thing to try to get some other stories out of the way, and then she will find herself at the top of the women's division.
Yeah, she didn't come to this company to be the TBS champion.
No, but it does say, like, you know, much like probably what's going to happen in the men's division, where some of these big time names are going to snatch up some of these mid card titles, and we'll get to Eddie Kingston and Okada and that kind of stuff. You could see a situation where, like, someone like Jamie Hayter might have the TBS title or some you know, Britt Baker, someone of that kind of level whenever they come back, because now you just have so many big time names that it's about time that some of these, even these mid card titles, find their self around the waist of some kind of main event level talent.
I have no issue with that, because right now those titles there are very few titles in AEW that mean anything.
Yeah.
So having them, you know, gain some prestige is fine, but Monet is on a different level than everybody else on that roster that is currently wrestling right now.
I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah. But it's been a week. But like I said, if we get to August and that's the thing, then yeah.
Again, everybody else who has come in that is not anywhere near her level has been given a title run.
Well, Deanna,
or not a title run, but a title shot.
Yeah, I mean, Deanna lost. A lot of that too has been to feed whoever was already the champion. So like Deanna lost her match. I'm trying to think of who else has come in who has lost.
She has essentially filled in the spot that Abaddon left.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not, you know, we have talked about it. It's not been the greatest booked division in the history of wrestling by any stretch. But I think what makes me excited about Mercedes is, like, there are matches out there lingering. If Athena ever gets moved up from Ring of Honor, she's doing incredible work there.
What do you think she's done wrong to not be able to be on Dynamite or Collision or anything like every other person that has some kind of ROH title?
I think she's probably like, listen, if I'm just going to be fed and lose matches or get passed over, I would much rather go on early in the night, get back to the hotel room and just be on the show. Yeah. I mean, if you're, at least I can do something interesting along the way, but I don't think she's going to stay down there for forever. Britt Baker is also somebody who I thought was going to be Deonna Purrazzo's mystery tag team partner. And turns out it's Thunder Rosa, which not much of a mystery if Thunder Rosa's already been on the card. But nevertheless, Jamie Hayter is also injured, you know, when she comes back.
What did she get? I forgot what her injury even was at this point.
I don't know. Knee, shoulder, something like that. Something obviously that has taken you a while to recover from. So when she comes back, she's also a big star in that division. So,
well, I say let's keep it moving. We've got Samoa Joe versus Wardlow, right?
It looks like that rocket still strapped downward, huh?
I had in my notes that, like, you know, we talked about last week. We predicted, there's some kind of shenanigans that's going to happen, right? Because why would you put Wardlow in this situation? Nope. And I think, honestly, and I had this in my notes, I think the Vince McMahon style of booking has, like, poisoned all our brains. And we just forgot that, like, hey, sometimes dudes can just get choked out. And, like, it kind of happens. Like, we all suspected something would happen. And no, he just beat him. Which was cool. It makes Joe like a badass, right? But I don't know. This has to be the last straw for Wardlow, right?
Like, it has to be the last straw for the Kingdom, right? There's nobody legitimate in that team right now. I mean, Roddy is your most legitimate person in that team, and he's borderline going back to jokes.
Yeah, and you know we have. Kyle O'Reilly made his return in the ring on Saturday. Is that something that potentially, you know, does the Kingdom set their sights on him next? But like, yeah, for this faction.
Why he looks so sad all the time?
I kind of dig it though. We'll talk about it when we get to Collision. I kind of dig his look, but like for this faction to be the guys that took out the biggest star in the company.
Yep.
That was December. This is 3 months later.
They have found themselves in a hole. Somebody handed them a shovel and they said, hell yeah, let's keep digging.
And again, like we talked about, the easiest thing for them to do would have been to kick out Roderick Strong, who was already getting a big babyface reaction with the next Strong. And that could have been a legitimate Roddy versus Wardlow, or, with Adam Cole out there. That's at least a story.
It would have at least been pushing Roderick.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, he's got 3 anchors, 3.5 if you want to count the manager.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, it sucks too. Like Adam Cole has an injury, but listen, I think we've talked about this. I know it probably sucks to have to travel with that injury, but big dog, you got to be on TV. You have to be on TV every single week.
He had his little reading vignette, right?
But that you have to be there.
And if your reading vignette leads you to having the guy that you have hyped as going to take something away going nowhere on his first real match.
I still don't understand, because they did it with Christian Cage before, but why would Wardlow want to win a championship just to hand it to you, Adam Cole? Because he keeps saying that Wardlow's going to win the championship and give it to me. I'm like, that's not how that works. I mean, Christian just took it from, when he was with Jurassic Express or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's different. They've established that storyline of Kill Switch being beat down to the point that he is in an abusive relationship, is willing to do whatever.
Yeah, they've at least put the effort to explain that. Yeah. They never did. This thing was just a passover. Whatever. But I mean, it doesn't matter, because
why is Wardlow care and so passionate about winning this thing just to hand it over? And he's never mentioned he's going to just hand it over.
No.
But and he never mentioned he was going to hand it over because he knew he was never going to get it.
There's also that. But I don't know where that guy goes from here, because this was basically Act 2. This was a restart. And
third restart, by the way.
Okay, yeah. I guess you're keeping up with it. Yeah, he's basically done the same thing now 3 times in a row. And I just think he's not that charismatic. He's a big dude, but he's generic looking big dude. There's nothing unique about him in any kind of way.
This was the most entertaining match he's been in.
I mean, true. Yeah.
But that ain't saying much.
It's not saying much. And yet again, at least it's good that they are keeping, the post-match of this. Swerve Strickland is over as a babyface. They have sort of completely removed him from the rest of the Mogul Embassy guys. Like Gates of Agony were also on this card Wednesday night. And
the only person they had out there with him was Nana.
Yeah. So...
But again, you have to, because otherwise he'd be in the same position that Roderick is. He'd have multiple anchors pulling him down.
Yeah. So I'm excited as hell to see a one-on-one Swerve and Samoa Joe. And you got to think that that's coming up at Dynasty. And I think Swerve probably takes it come April, I would say.
I think if Swerve doesn't win and there's not some big swerve, where would he go from there? Because at that point, you would have had that failure on that part too.
Well, yeah, and listen, let's be real here. That belt's going on Ospreay in London in August. They're going to pull that trigger on 80,000 people, and Ospreay, as the conquering hero, comes in and wins the title. That will happen.
So who do you want to see lose it to Ospreay at this stage?
I think Swerve and Ospreay, and I think the story is as simple as you and I both want to be the top guy. Who is going to lead this company into the future? Is it going to be me or you? And I think you do the generic, I don't think you need some kind of crazy story. I think at the end of All In, if Ospreay's the winner, Swerve shakes his hand. They have a little moment. Swerve leaves and powders out, and Ospreay stands there with the belt as 80,000 people chant. And that's you can just go. That's as simple as it needs to be. And Swerve has now elevated himself into the main event scene, and you have some combination of Ospreay and Swerve and Moxley, Danielson. You have your top A tier of men's talent.
Because you've got to figure Paige is going to play somewhere into that.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, like we talked about, talking about a lot of these main event guys having mid-card titles. Like Hangman Page might need a run with the TNT title, or he might need a run with the what the fuck it was Roddy got? International? There's Continental, International, and TNT. Right? Those are the three. Yeah. So, put them on somebody and give them a run. I think the days of Daniel Garcia having a pop-up TNT title win at this moment is probably it at least should be in the near past pretty soon. Because I think they are gearing up to make Okada basically their version of Gunther. The foreign heel that has a title that keeps it for damn near forever. Yeah.
Well, speaking of him, the next thing I've got on the list is the Elite versus Pac and Penta and Kingston. Match-wise, like, probably the better match of the night, right?
I mean, yeah, this is classic Young Bucks, multi-man, everybody gets their spots in type of AEW match at this point.
Yep. It's okay. I mean,
it's good. It's not the greatest one of these matches they've ever been in, but it doesn't have to be, right? The only story you needed to come out of this was Okada and Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they did a good job of, Okada being sort of the smarmy little, I'll pick my shots, pick my moments here and there, and Eddie being the, ferocious babyface that he is.
But AEW's falling into the WWE trap here of don't remember what I said. Because suddenly we're going to get Okada versus Kingston for the Continental belt.
It is only the one, yeah.
Only the one. Whereas Eddie has literally said, anytime I'm in the ring, they're all up, except now. Now that it is the time that, I might have to lose it. Now is the time that belt's not up. And that ain't on him. That's backstage garbage.
I mean, yeah, anytime you do, because then what is the next Continental Crown if they rerun it next year? What does it look like? It's obviously not going to be for all three belts.
Maybe you have if you split those, I guess maybe you have to reunify them again at some point. You have the people that if they're going to, you force those people to be in the Classic, and then whoever wins takes them all again. I don't know, but still, what's the point of breaking them up?
I mean, I don't think Okada is going to be working Ring of Honor pay-per-views.
But again, is Eddie?
Well, yeah, Eddie's announced for Death Before Dishonor. He's fighting Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor title. Yeah, they announced that.
So I guess Briscoe takes that one?
Probably.
Fuck yeah.
Probably. And what else? A New Japan Strong title? And I mean, when does that? I don't even know when that gets defended because that's kind of an offshoot.
That's just
a little promote.
3 days after an FTW.
Yeah. So, but no, I do think Okada ends up taking the title from Kingston.
I don't see why he wouldn't.
And you build him up as the main event scene for the AEW World title is a little bit crowded right now. You just let Okada and the Young Bucks have fun as the trio that kind of control the Continental Championship, and he puts on great matches and beats people and looks like $1 million while he does it. The fucking coin flip entrance, by the way, badass. I don't know who came up with that.
What is the coin?
The coin is the start of the.
Yeah, I get that, but what's the coin?
It fucking looks cool. I don't know. It's as easy as it is.
I mean, it's in the music, but I wasn't sure if there was some story behind it or something. That is he a paid assassin? Is this a John Wick reference? What? Okay.
I mean, sometimes I don't know. I'm sure there probably is something, but
I like that he's coming in through the Elite elevator.
Yeah, and they do a cool little thing with the black light too, where he's like kind of in the shadow a little bit, and then comes out.
So did they just started doing the elevator again, right, with the new set
for this? Yeah, and for them specifically, nobody else has it.
Are they still doing the different entrances? Because
the tunnels, yeah.
Well, I mean, like the good guys one side, because Pac was coming out the bad guy side.
Well, I think he's always a bad guy, right?
Okay.
Even when he's a good guy, he's a bad guy?
It was like they were mixing it up, and like people I wasn't expecting to come out that left tunnel were coming out the left tunnel. I'm going, okay, well, maybe they're just alternating.
Danielson is how you know. Danielson will switch. Like right now, he's coming out of the right tunnel, good guy tunnel. And then at some point, I'm sure he'll switch back over and come out of the other one. There'll be that little camera shot where he sits at the ramp and looks one way and then goes the other one. They've done that before with him, but no. Okada and the Young Bucks, I'm digging the gimmicks right now. I like it.
Like I said, I could give two shits about the Young Bucks.
And somebody was shitting and they were like, I don't get the Young Bucks music. It's like, it's a play on Succession.
Yeah, it sounds almost exactly
it's pretty spot on. They're not trying to hide.
I mean, I was real over the Young Bucks in the last year, but the way they've ramped up the EVP like heel factor.
This is the best they have been. I mean, Matthew's sitting there with his best boss mug, talking shit, and that it's fine, but I just don't care about him. It's an unfortunate series of circumstances that basically this storyline and the Rock storyline are the same, and they're taking place at the same time. because one of them is overshadowing the other one.
Well, yeah, because one of them is a fucking Mount Rushmore professional wrestler. So it kind of sucks. But, The Rock won't be doing this for forever, seemingly. Well, who knows?
He goes back to work in May.
Yeah, so
they've already announced he's going to be at least out May through August.
Oh, okay. They did announce it. Oh.
What has he got going on through May through August?
Some movie.
Good on.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd take $20 million still.
Yeah.
So the next note I have is from Ospreay's promo when he's talking about restore the feeling. He's his restore the feeling, bruv. I am the feeling.
This is where to me, this is showing you how badly AEW needed Will Ospreay. And I have to imagine, because that was something that came up in the Young Bucks conversation, is they said there's 14 million reasons that Okada came here. And hinting that was what he's getting paid to be there. If they're giving him 14 million, this dude's got to be getting, almost 30, which he is never going to get anywhere else, because he's earning every damn penny of that by being there, because this promo alone shows you just how far ahead of the curve he is over everybody else in that thing.
He's been in AEW 3 weeks. He already feels like the biggest thing they have.
Yeah, y'all have seen the tweets about how Triple H is probably like beating himself up at home.
Yeah, but no.
I don't think so. Because I don't think that they would let this dude do what he's doing.
That, and there is nobody on WWE's, budget that is making the kind of money that he would demand if he's making that kind of money where he's at now.
Do you think the WWE crowd would appreciate him as much as?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think this dude, like I said,
he's got it. He does. He has a appeal to him that he's able to fit wherever would he be doing the same thing he's doing in AEW and WWE? No. But whatever he was doing in WWE, he would be successful in doing.
Yeah, I think he's that big of a superstar. Like, this dude is just that good, and he's 30, which is great. Like, you could see him in WWE in 5-6 years. Like, that's how this stuff works. I mean, you get free agency contracts and stuff, but it's so simple, too, what he's doing. He's just embodying the spirit of competition and doing it in a genuine way where it feels real and people are responding to it. This is not an over-the-top gimmick. He's not doing crazy things.
He's doing what the others are trying to do, but he's doing it better.
Yeah, the dude's just better than everybody else. It's just, there's no two ways about it.
So just quickly, just keeping it rolling, we thought we'd see a bloodbath between Jay White and Darby in terms of needing to ride Darby off TV so he can go climb Mount Everest, and then he actually breaks his fucking foot.
Yeah,
I don't know if he actually did he really? I mean, at this stage, that all seems like bullshit to me at this stage, honestly.
I mean, he definitely didn't break it on the bat. I mean, the bat thing, like that's
that hit the chair.
But I think there had to be a part here in this match where it went sideways.
I mean, the only one that looked weird was him doing the coffin drop onto the hardest part of the apron.
For what it's worth, I mean, this could also be kayfabe, but he tweeted out an X-ray and was like, Mount Everest has to wait until next year.
Yeah, I mean, and foots are tricky. Like, you can, you do something you do 1,000 times, and then it's the 1,001st time where the thing goes. But like, I like this match because the big thing with Darby is always the bumps. Right. And this match led up to one bump. He goes down on the apron. He beats the 10 count. Immediately he rolls into Jay White's finisher and the match is over.
Yep. It was
psychology.
It was an alternative to the Darby equation that we had been getting.
Yeah. And Jay White looks like the smartest bad guy in the world. He looks like a very smart, psychological wrestler. And then
they turn.
And then they do the turn, which we all expected to come at some point.
And here's where this is, again, another one of those moments where I feel like it's shitting the bed because nobody cares. This is one of those things because because it's not getting anywhere. Because it didn't progress any kind of love between anybody or have any kind of pull into the characters. It's like, okay, cool. They turned. Good on them.
I think it was kind of a reestablish Jay White as like a badass, like, because it's kind of been jokey. All like he hasn't had it. I mean, the booking for him has not been great, but it's kind of been that let's reestablish him as a major contender, not a major contender, but like just a badass, like in the league. Like
last week, Darby said in his promo, like you were the dude that main evented the Tokyo Dome 2 years in a row, and then you come here and you're playing grab ass with the Acclaim, basically.
Right.
Yep.
So I mean, this is.
It's 100% true statement.
And it's a reset. This is a reset for Jay White and Bullet Club Gold.
But do they, they already have a belt that they already have their trios title from ROH that means nothing around their waist.
But maybe they just unify it and throw the Ring of Honor ones in the trash. Like, I don't know.
He's one of those guys you could put in the...
if he was carrying the TBS or TNT or whatever, whichever one it is, he'd be decent. But he is swimming in the deep end, and he's got some lead booties on one that ain't helping him right now.
And I mean, with all these things, the booking has not helped him either. So, but this is at least, listen, they took out Darby Allin. He's going to be off TV for a minute, probably for longer than a minute now with a broken foot. So he has that feather in his cap.
Or does he come back immediately because, Darby Allin is Darby Allin?
No, I think he's off for a little bit. Yeah, there's no reason to bring him back right now. So you can get the just rest up, appreciate everything you've done for the past 18 months. Like, here's a well-deserved break.
Had a major storyline for the last several months with Sting.
Yeah, and and the thing is like, if Darby stays off TV long enough, the moment he comes back and attacks Jay White, that's an immediate story. And that will be a hot angle because the fans will have missed him.
Unless, of course, it's like every other foot injury angle in AEW where it takes 3 years to get him on the screen and he comes out in a wheelchair for 2.5 of them. And
well, I think Darby might have some better recovery than old Mr. Adam Cole. Darby's seems like he's tough son of a bitch. Not that Adam Cole's not, but it's a little bit different. Darby versus some other people.
So on Collision, the only thing that I made a note on was the Copeland promo and how hyped I am for the I Quit match on Wednesday night. Wednesday night looks like a pretty good card, by the way, but Collision was so-so. I thought the Danielson match was good, but like I said, the promo for I think it's time for Cope, right?
I'm confused why this is a Dynamite match, number one.
It's Toronto. It's in Toronto.
Yeah, but still, this is a TV match. You're giving me potential a man that has the most dangerous weapon in the Simpson universe, a board with some nails in it, gonna murder a man on public television.
Well, they've basically done that before on Dynamite, so it wouldn't be that much different.
And that, to me, that is, and you have a pay-per-view coming up. Why is this not on that pay-per-view unless it's going to be, it's not, we're not going to get what we want and drags it on. But then, that loses its value too because it's an I Quit match.
Yeah, I don't think it drags it on. I think Copeland gets the win, but like Dynasty's not till April 27th. So it's a little bit a month and some change away. So there's time for Copeland to find another person that he can have a match with at Dynasty. I mean, because it can be something as simple as, at least for a Dynasty match, it can be, some kind of other dream match. Although the last dream match Copeland had in AEW was against Minoru Suzuki, which not many people have ever wanted to see those two guys.
Match.
Yeah.
You got to remember that people dream every night.
I mean, that's true. Maybe somebody out
forgettable.
There. Yeah.
So I know you wanted to talk about the Danielson match.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's just classic. I mean, at this point, that's what you tune in for Saturday nights for. This is basically watching.
I appreciate that they put that one on first.
Yeah,
because in theory, you could have, if you are not a regular AEW person and you want to see that match, it's right at the beginning, runs about 20 minutes. You can go to do whatever else you want.
You can fast forward.
You ain't missing nothing.
Because I mean, a lot of Saturday night was just like good solid to good pro wrestling matches that were kind of one-offs that don't have a lot of story behind them.
And are with people that are constantly losing. So, there's only one. Yeah. There was a surprise in that one, but is it really a surprise knowing how that team has been booked?
Yeah, so that was Infantry beating House of Black in the tag team.
Because Mark Briscoe Superman's in and somehow defeats an entire faction again.
But I did kind of want to talk about Kyle O'Reilly, because here's a new guy who has name recognition from NXT. At the tail end of an NXT run, he was getting, he had like babyface potential.
Yep.
Unfortunate circumstances. He's been hurt for a while.
2 years.
I like his look. He looks gritty. He looks scrappy. I don't know where he fits, though, within this roster.
This match had something in it that bugged me, too. You got Kyle O'Reilly beating the shit out of Brian Keith. Referee pulls him off, checks on that Brian Keith, make sure he's okay to continue. A couple moves later, Kyle O'Reilly catches a knee to the face, does a face plant right into an upcoming knee, so he gets rocked twice. Fuck it. Just leave that guy alone. Let's just keep moving.
Hey, it is what it is. But I don't know, Kyle O'Reilly, he's decent enough promo because he comes off as
genuine,
a genuine underdog. He's easy to root for. I don't know if it's
he's got technical skill.
Oh yeah, the wrestling goes without saying. He technique, everything like in ring.
There were a couple of shit one of the best that night.
Yeah,
but again, this is what they are saying when they are on the announce team talking about how stacked this roster is. They are stacked with a lot of technical wrestlers. But what it's exactly what you're saying. He is technical wrestler number 7 out of that group, which means that there are 6 other dudes ahead of you that are already filling your spot that you're claiming.
So I don't know if it's, if you watched their social media channel Saturday night, there was a little bit, Shibata came backstage and they shared a handshake. I don't know if it's putting Kyle O'Reilly in some kind of tag team. I don't know if it is. Yeah, I don't know what you do with him.
Have him take out the Kingdom, join up with Roddy.
The Kingdom story is right there to do.
He didn't accept the shirt.
Yeah.
He whispered something in Roddy's ear.
Hey, Roddy, I can be a better partner to you than these schmucks. Let me just take them out.
Dangling out there with the...
We can be next strong again.
The thing that's dangling out there with the Kingdom, though, is that whenever MJF comes back, that has to be the story. MJF needs to get his comeuppance. And I don't know if I want to... And if you're going to do that, based off the way you have booked the Kingdom, you need to have the Kingdom be some kind of threat. And I don't know if I want to see Kyle O'Reilly be sacrificed to the Kingdom to just have them be
the Kingdom is not a threat. At this, if MJF came back tomorrow, I couldn't care less if he fights the Kingdom or not because he's already won.
But you have to tell it. You can't just have MJF come back and he doesn't address the fact that these fucking dudes put him on the shelf. That's crazy. That's a cardinal sin if that happens.
Yeah.
But I guess if you just want to have MJF be on the microphone and be like, you guys ain't shit and I ain't worried about you.
I guess. But you know what? I was busy over here getting paid and laid, so thank you.
Yeah, Will Ospreay, come out here. This is the dude I want to wrestle. So I don't know. It's
you were the guys that hurt me. I didn't recognize you.
Yeah.
So, side note, who was the fucking artist? Oh, the Ice Spice. When we were talking about the Super Bowl not long ago, Ice Spice was in the booth with Taylor Swift, and we were talking about Ice Spice at dinner one night. I was like, I don't know anything about Ice Spice. I thought maybe she was like a Spice Girl, and they were doing a new Spice Girl thing or something.
Wait, is she not?
No.
She's a rapper.
And so we were at dinner, and we looked up Ice Spice, and she's got a song called Fart.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then in parentheses, so we got through 15 seconds, and the first line is, bitch, you think you the shit, you ain't even the fart. And I laughed so fucking hard. I turned it off because I was like, okay, that's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
Funny as hell. I laughed uncontrollably at that. and it was serious song, right?
Yeah.
But this is funny as shit. I don't have anything else for AEW. Do you guys have anything else?
Why are we talking about Ice Spice?
Where did that come? Oh, because he was talking about MJF, talking about, y'all think y'all the shit.
Oh, see, I thought you were this was leading into your Julia Fart sign.
that was funny the other night. Somebody just had a Julia Fart sign in the crowd.
The last thing about AEW is like line hook.
Oh, just see that.
Let's just stop.
Like tomorrow's card looks pretty fucking cool, and then you got Chris Jericho versus Hook in the middle of it.
Yeah, just
why?
Listen, Jericho, you were a legend. You're great. You're fantastic.
We needed a star to start up the company.
Nah, I'm not going to argue that. You've done your due diligence. You've helped this company. Let's go off into the sunset, my guy.
And we've said it. I've said it a billion times. You've said it. Hook is a charisma vacuum. I mean, I don't even remember what the hell he said when he accepted the match. And
he
was
just went, bet.
Bet.
And
it's like, shut up. I mean, you said too many words already. I mean, just fuck off.
It's, sometimes things just pass you by. And it's okay. You need to learn to let them go.
Take a look in the locker room and see where you think you stack currently. I'm not talking about cumulative in your career. I'm talking about can you go with Will Ospreay?
Or does just
can you go with Takeshita?
Swerve.
Even fucking Hangman Adam Page. Can you go with Hangman?
And it's just I don't need to see mid 50-year-old guy identity. Like one day he's Chris Jericho, the next day he's Lionheart, the next day he's
Wizard,
fucking trying to be Freddie Mercury in Wembley Stadium. Like it's just he's a wizard. Like it's just
Painmaker.
Painmaker. It's too much, man. Just go be divorced dad in Florida and play divorced dad rock and
bring your fucking wife in on Twitter, man. I saw a series of her tweets the other day. She's something else.
Oh, she's waiting for that next. She's a freedom fighter. First of all, Corey, don't forget that. Okay, she's a true patriot, and don't ask her about her whereabouts on January 6th.
Lord help. Oh, so let's talk about The Rock and who wrote this fucking song for him, and have they ever written a poem before?
Well, I can answer this question for you. Brian Gurewitz.
Yeah.
And yes, he has written a song before because The Rock has done this gimmick before.
But his meter was so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I owe Mr. Dwayne Johnson an apology because I was very hot on this podcast when he came in. And he has been nothing but spectacular throughout this entire run. And it's not just like, okay, yes, he is regurgitating stuff he's done in the past. But Friday night was a little bit different, where after the song, takes a little bit of a turn.
Yeah.
Gets a little bit more serious, gets up closer to the camera. Talking to Cody, be like, I know your mom. You think you're going to hand her the title. Actually, I'm going to hand her this belt. It's going to be soaked in your own blood. And then he does the Moana line, and he's like, damn near whispering.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
He's changed it.
This is the final boss. I'm digging this. This is so good. And like, we'll talk about Cody's promo on Monday Night Raw, but like for the little foursome that is The Rock and Cody and Seth and Roman, much like I said last week, Mr. Reigns has a lot of pressure going into next week because it's just going to be him. And if he shits the bed again, at this point, I kind of just want to see Cody and The Rock.
You talking about Friday night, Cody versus...
Yeah, this coming up Friday.
And see, that's exactly one of the comments I made on the Raw thing is you have that promo that Cody cuts there, which is I loved everything Cody said there because, he takes all that shit that Rock has shoveled at him and turns it right around. I know Rock's mom, yeah, she's a wonderful woman. I loved her. She helped me out here. Salt of the earth. My mom, she's beating up undercover cops at Willie Nelson concert. She ain't scared of you, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm more scared of you than she is. So, whatever. And he's saying all the things you want him to say, but who is Cody Rhodes facing at WrestleMania?
Well, yeah. I mean, that is the thing. But here's the thing. What does he have? Roman's not there. What is he? The only thing he has to respond to is The Rock or a cross-dressing comment that Roman Reigns has made. In 3 weeks, that's the only thing Roman's done. And it was, everyone shit on it across wrestling. Because it was like, bro, you're the champion and you look like the worst out of all these four.
100%. He's got to, like you said, he has to step up his game because right now, Cody is fighting The Rock.
Yeah. That's been the thing. And
the title is a side chick prize.
And listen, if you are, the supposed kayfabe greatest champion of all time, no one can outshine you. No one should make you look small. And Roman Reigns, for the past 3 weeks, has done exactly the opposite.
But we also get a slip in that promo when he's unrolling that belt to talk about somebody's mama. Whose mom does he mention first? Reigns.
Is this what the line's about?
Yeah, he says Reigns' mom.
Oh, yeah.
So is it a slip? Is it not? Because all this shit means something, supposedly.
Well, listen. Based off what we have seen these past 3 weeks from Roman, and for the past 3 years from Roman, or even going back further when they tried to make him the babyface, if your plan is to put The Rock and Roman Reigns in a program together,
he's got to step it the fuck up.
And you expect people to cheer Roman Reigns, good luck. Because I don't know how it's going to happen.
Because he has more charisma than, say, a Hook.
It's true. Yes.
But he is not pulling the same weight that Rollins, Rock, and Rhodes are.
And he's the one that has the championship, and, Michael Cole's calling him the greatest of all time. Yeah, at this point, Cody has to win the title at WrestleMania. I think Roman at this point, it's time to go in a different direction. It's time to see the Universal Championship on television every single week. Cody is as hot of a babyface as that company has had in, I guess, going back to Stone Cold Steve Austin, like truly, because John Cena split the audience. So somehow Cody Rhodes has gotten the casual fans to love him. He's gotten the hardcore fans like us to love him. His promo on Monday was fantastic. He is showing layers in his character where one week he can cry and it convinces you and it makes sense. And then the next week he can be staring down the lens of a camera in a black suit, talking about how he's going to beat the shit out of The Rock. And it's also convincing.
Yep.
He knows his mom too.
Yep.
Cody Rhodes is the dude. I think he will emerge victorious from WrestleMania. I think he should. Because if they do not finish this story at WrestleMania, the revolt that you had for The Rock seemingly going to take this main event spot will be minuscule compared to the revolt that I think you will have on fans' hands if he doesn't win.
I was jokingly thinking about this yesterday and a little bit this morning of just making this a Groundhog's Day, that kind of thing, where forever from this point on, it's always Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania trying to get the title and never doing it. And it's just that match perpetually forever.
I'll check out August 9th or whenever. And I'll check back in with y'all the end of next January. Because the Bloodline story was boring as shit for most of the year.
We will look back on the Bloodline with,
Yes. Okay. Yes and no, because we'll get back into the Bloodline story a little bit here when we get to the beginning of Raw, because the Bloodline story is still fun and engaging. It's just parts of it, because he's not carrying his weight, are superfluous. It's weighing it down a little bit.
The Bloodline story will look better when they do the YouTube compilation of here of all the segments jam-packed, and they don't put the dates on there. Yeah. But then fans will be like, well, in real time, those two moments were 6 weeks apart from each other.
But I had that same conversation with non-wrestling fans going into WrestleMania last year. So it's like, I'm breaking down of all the shit that's happened. I'm like, but keep in mind, this is over the course of 2 years.
But last year, though, it was fun to watch the rise of Jay and Sami. Mm-hmm. That's what held that thing together.
But Jay is still rising.
But Jay feels, even though, yes, he's fighting his brother, he feels apart from it.
But that is bloodline story. That
only happened in the last month.
Well, yes and no. I mean, they've been off and on with that, just because every time Jay gets close to being something, Jimmy's there ruining it. I mean,
I think I've said this before. I think the popularity of the bloodline story falls squarely on the shoulders of Sami Zayn and Jey Uso.
I agree 100% that they were a duo that carried a lot of that early weight that extended it well beyond where it probably would have gone.
Yeah. And we will, like we talked about, fans 15 years from now will be talking about and dissecting the career of Roman Reigns, and he is going to be a fascinating case of where actually do you put him all time, because you rack up these accolades, as many WrestleMania main events as Hulk Hogan, huge ass title reigns, presented at the top of the company for 6 years, and yet, you go down the list and you start making greatest wrestler of all time. You're like, why is Roman Reigns at 28 or 30? I had 15 dudes last week that I thought were better, and that was just off the top of the head. So, But, this Friday will be a huge marker for him.
Yeah.
This is kind of a pivotal moment for Roman Reigns in his whole career and his legacy and how he would be talked about.
He has to carry that weight, though.
Because if Cody stands across from him and cooks him on the mic, and Roman has another cross-dresser-esque reply, what has all of this?
Cody's going to cook him on the mic. Cody has always been. In the 5 years I've been watching wrestling, Cody has always been fire with the microphone.
Cody is perfectly built for this moment right now in WWE.
I love the fact that he's even leaning into the bullshit that comes with his bad side. You get Paul Heyman up there going, I'm going to talk shit to you, and him going, you know what? I'm about to go full Homelander here and rip out your throat. So he's even acknowledging the Codelander bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I do want to switch gears a little bit because we've got a few other things to talk about.
I sidetracked us off of SmackDown. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. We can jump around. It doesn't matter. LA Knight taking the mic and just being like, I just need to cook for a minute. I laughed because I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And then I thought they kind of ruined it because I thought AJ pinning Knight under that chair with his neck under the back little, chair connector part was look cool as shit. And then they fucking did it again last night with Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. I was like, well, you just fucking ruined it because it was cool the other night.
But see, that's not the first time and you get those every so often. So,
I just thought it looked cool. I hadn't seen it in a while. I'm sure I've seen it at some point before, but in the moment, I thought it was pretty cool.
Edge did it to somebody not too long ago.
But. Yeah, it's just, this is a little weird, the LA Knight AJ Styles WrestleMania match, because we all thought this would be LA versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Not kind of. It is a letdown.
Well, we know why this. I told you that Paul had signed a full-time deal. He wasn't going to be, doing these guest appearances anymore.
Yeah, he's a legitimate. He's there. He's doing more than Roman Reigns. He's there every week.
And he's got, what, 23 million?
He got a lot of money.
No, I'm talking about followers.
Oh, and followers, too. Yeah. I also think he's one of the highest paid people on the roster, too.
So, they're going to do what they can to make his ass happy, especially when he's going to be in the corner of his goofy ass brother.
Oh, yeah. There's Mike Tyson, knocks that motherfucker's head off.
He ain't, though. You see all the rules. He ain't.
But I don't know if those rules. So, I did see the rules. And for listeners, if you don't know what we're talking about, Jake Paul is going to fight Mike Tyson on Netflix sometime this summer. Yeah. June, July, something like that. It was first reported the rules were Jake Paul is going to wear headgear.
Yep.
He's also going to be able to tag in his brother at some point, and they can fight 2-on-1.
I'll answer this as LA Knight here. Yeah.
But then there was a video from Jake Paul that said all those rules are bullshit.
Nah, bro. Those all.
So I don't know. Now, the one rule I do buy from the original set of rules that was leaked is they're not going to drug test Jake Paul. I could buy that. That's Mike Tyson will have to do drug testing. Jake Paul they about to load him up on that special creatine, and he gonna come in about 25 pounds heavier than what he is.
But this goes back to my kid. He's 15. Does not give a shit about wrestling. Hates. I mean, he'll drink a Prime, but it's a special flavor because the rest of them taste like shit, much like Kevin Owens will say.
Yeah.
He's never watched a boxing match in his life. Doesn't give a crap about any of it. But he's like, when it happens, let me know so I can see. Just fast forward to let me see him get his ass whipped, which tells me that he's got the appeal and he's getting the eyes, which means that it gets the eyes on Logan as well. So they are going to capitalize the shit out of that.
I mean, I get it. And listen, the Paul brothers, they're not doing anything different than they're just doing pro wrestling.
Yep.
They've always just done pro wrestling. It's always been shit talk and promotion and carny bullshit. They're perfect for this. Logan Paul is perfect for this.
Jake Paul is perfect for it too, because he's essentially fighting exhibition matches, making everybody hope he's going to get his ass whipped. And it's an exhibition match where nobody on the other side is trying.
Yeah.
And all he's doing is making sure he doesn't die.
And listen, Logan has a big spot. We just thought with all the social media talk and LA Knight hadn't won a championship yet, Logan was talking shit about LA Knight. You're like, oh, this is a WrestleMania.
Triple H was like, y'all be patient.
Be patient with LA Knight. Yeah, there was that whole story.
Is him fighting AJ Styles a bad thing? I mean, think about who AJ Styles is in comparison to all this. It's not like he's fighting.
Yeah, he's not fighting a scrub.
He's not fighting Grayson Waller.
Right. No, it's not, but it
still feels like
a consolation prize.
Yeah. He's not fighting Karrion Kross.
Well, God, let's hope no one fights Karrion Kross at WrestleMania. But it for LA Knight, it does fit, coming off as hot as what he was.
But he's still. I mean, he's
still hot. He's still over. But like that title was just.
But he ain't. It was. I can't remember the little rankings there that they showed during the thing. Is he in the top 10 of people who they're playing on 2K24?
Oh, I didn't see any of that stuff.
I know it because it's Cody, Roman, Jay are the top 3.
Okay.
And it's probably like Rhea, Becky.
Logan Paul's probably in that. He's probably in that top 10.
I do want to talk. The pop of the night for me was the stunner into the RKO.
And I loved it.
I popped so fucking hard.
I mean, it was a little bit of a cluster thing, but I loved they realized how bad it was that they had him backstage explain why it was bad in story, which even makes it even better.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, because you know how he kind of was overshooting it?
Yeah.
I saw the stunner. I knew the RKO was coming, so I tried to hop over it.
Yeah, it's... It
didn't go well.
I love Austin Theory. That spot looked ridiculous and not a good way. He literally, and it's just a split second off.
Yeah.
And that just shows you like how much pro wrestling just comes down to timing.
Mm-hmm.
They'll rerun this spot at WrestleMania. Austin Theory will do it again, and he will probably nail it, and it looks amazing. But like this to me just looked. I was like,
it was goofy as hell, but I still.
It was goofy, and here's the thing. If that had happened in on the indies or like in AEW, that'd have been on like squared circle and be like, look how stupid this shit is. You would have, that would have been.
Yes and no.
If it had been in GCW, people would be like, this is why GCW nobody watches this shit.
But there's a difference. There's a difference in the level of there's botches and then there's indie stupid shit where you have the 12 dudes grabbing Joey. Is it Joey Janela that does the junk flip?
No, it's what's his face that got popped for fucking actually being a pervert. So he's no longer there anymore. I don't remember what his Joey something.
But, where you got somebody grabs him and then, or what's the one I saw the other day where they were sticking their thumbs up somebody's ass in front of them, and then the next person sticks it up their butt, and it just went down the line of 12 different dudes. And there's a difference between that stuff and a fuck up. I mean,
overselling a stunner. Is that what you're?
Yeah. But I think that those two would have been like in the sequence of like the thumbs up the butt. If somebody then would have taken a stunner and jumped into an RKO, all that would have been cobbled together as look how ridiculous this is.
Did the infantry stuff make the squared circle of how stupid this stuff is?
Oh, I don't. Did it? I think it did, actually.
Okay.
I think it did, yeah. But I mean, look, Austin Theory's great, fantastic. I've talked about how awesome he is. It's just a fuck up, but
I appreciated him at least trying to, sell it to me in universe of why it looked as the way it did, and that even made it better for me.
Yeah, but again, let's get this dude in a suit. Let's give this dude a title. Let's give him a mouthpiece. Let's start treating Austin Theory like a badass, because that's what he is, and I think they will get there.
I want to talk about a match that I almost fast forward through last night, and I was.
Oh, I'm hoping you're about to say the 4 words I want you to say.
Very glad that I did not fast forward. DIY versus Creed.
Regeneration
Creed
X.
Brothers.
Yep.
I was just like, well, I got no stake in this. Like, DIY is gonna win. They're gonna move on. But I was like, y'all have been talking about the Creed Brothers. I haven't watched any of their matches yet. I was like, I'm going to watch it. 3/4 of the way through, my wife yells, "This is the greatest match I've ever seen." And I was like, holy shit. I was like, these guys are right. Like, these dudes, because she then, I was like, these dudes can go. And then she was like, why do they look like they're in high school gear? And I was like, that was part of the thing they mentioned at the beginning when she wasn't listening about, like, they were high school and college wrestlers.
Brutus was number 1 in the nation.
Yeah. And I was like, these dudes fucking go. And then, like, I really thought at one point, I was like, fucking let them win. I was like, they're not going to, but
there was a lot of believable moments where you thought it could.
Oh yeah.
And that's the joy of DIY, because DIY can go in their own way as well. And putting them with somebody like the Creeds, who down the road will.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're in Mania and some, like, those guys are going to end up with the titles at some point.
Both of them they're on that same level, so it could go either way and you'd be happy. It's kind of like that if you put Sami Zayn and Chad Gable in a match, I mean, you might have your preference on who you want to win, but you'd be happy with either one because they can do whatever they want to do, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And seeing them, I mean, that dude was sitting on his ass. Vertical suplexed, I mean, yeah, Tommaso Ciampa ain't Bronson Reed size, but still was able to go from his butt to his knees to a stand, keeping him. And a lot of that's on Tommaso with that core strength. Yeah. But
if they did that to Bronson Reed, I would have come on this podcast and be like, I don't give a shit. Drew Mack, give this dude the title now. He needs to beat Roman Reigns. He needs to beat everybody. This dude's the greatest wrestler ever. No, DIY and Creed also stand out because they're 4 of the best wrestlers in that company, like in ring, and they actually gave them time to put on a match. And like I've said before, like, good professional wrestling in the ring will always get over.
But again, the difference between why that's getting over there and it would not get over, why it's not getting over in the same place in the other company, is because they have given those 4 dudes, the Creeds a little bit less, but they have given those dudes some time to express some personality. It's not just let me be a badass wrestler. There's, you know who they are, because they have told you who they are through all those storylines and through all those vignettes.
I didn't know any of that shit. I just went into it like, I've heard these guys were good.
Yeah.
And it was a good match. I didn't know anything about their quote unquote story.
The match was great. Here I am going to be the gear guy. Guys,
we'll get there.
We cannot come out in just gray singlets with no knee pads, no wrist tape, no elbow pads. They had no entrance gear, no jackets. Help these guys out. Come on, somebody. Costume designers. They can't be in gray, first of all. Gray is enough. You cannot have a color gray as a professional wrestler. Ban it. You can't do it.
Did Rick, I know Rick came out in the varsity jacket. What did Scott used to come out in?
They both came out in the varsity jackets when they were, And what did the Steiner brothers have? They had tie-dye. I'm not saying do tie-dye, but I'm saying let's not come out in gray singlets.
But at the same time, I guess you can't really, while they are the equivalent of what the Steiners were in the 80s, just obviously not as beefcakey, I guess when you have an actual Steiner child in the mix.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying they should copy the Steiners, but like, can the singlet be red? Can it be blue?
Yeah, just fucking flip those colors.
Can we?
Because they had red in.
Can we tape our wrist? Can we put on some knee pads? Can we wear boots? Can we do some kind of entrance gear? Like, I don't know. They just literally
They were just in the ring last night, right? Or did I miss their walkout?
Yeah, I think they
No, they came out.
They came out,
Okay.
but they didn't have any.
Because you got Brutus that does the silverback walk up the stairs.
Oh, that's right.
So, like, and like you said, we'll get there. But, like, that is a decision where management, like,
They're failing these guys.
The guys bring the gear and you go, this is the last time we're ever going to wear this gear because we're going to give you something else. Because, like, yes, your presentation, just when I look at you physically, does not match your talent level. You are extremely talented. We need to have you then look a certain type of way as a wrestler.
This is semi sidetracked because DIY won that match and they're in league with the Awesome Truth. Did you all catch the R-Truth on the, I think it was the bump or whatever it is, where it had Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker, not Sam, and whoever his co-host is. I guess it's not the bump because not Sam was there. And they had R-Truth on there talking about, what do you do now that your friends are in this match going against the Judgment Day with you, kind of stuff. And R-Truth he's like, seems like we're in a pickle. And then he goes off for 3 minutes about pickles, Wenzel pickles. I like these kind of pickles. And, never answering the question, but it's just stupid as hell. And him just getting over pickles.
I also laughed so fucking hard last night when the Jinder Mahal's dudes walked by. He's like, woo, I sure would hate to fight those dudes. He's like, that one dude was hairy.
Yeah. Someone on the internet had a fantastic booking angle to separate the tag titles at WrestleMania, which is basically like R-Truth only grabs one set of titles because he thinks that he should just grab whatever show he's on.
Yeah.
And then another team grabs the other set.
That's what I told you. They'd split them by taking two.
Split them that way.
Yeah, well, I thought one of y'all said that last week.
Oh, maybe we did. Yeah.
That's how I figure this is going to go down, is they're going to split them between, one ends up with one ends up with the other.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things about that match last night. I'm in on those guys. Like, I know y'all told me before, and I was like, that's what I was telling Jamie. I was like, they've been telling me. I was like, because she was like, where did these dudes come from? I was like, they've been on for a little bit. But
go back and watch. They had a steel cage match, and I guess that was in NXT, where they were just doing, it was stupid feats of strength kind of stuff. But chucking people through the cage and stuff like that. They are getting over about how powerful these two dudes are, and they just gotta, I don't know how much because they haven't really talked a whole lot yet, so I don't know how much chemistry they have, but they are showcasing at least the ability.
The athleticism. So we've got the Sami and Gunther contract signing, and then the other stuff going on there with Chad Gable to talk about.
I'm going to fast forward here a little bit to WrestleMania. You hear that 1, 2, 3. It's going to, the announcement that comes after that 1, 2, 3 is going to be, and still, Intercontinental title champion, Gunther, the ring general. And that makes sense to me because if it had been Gable, you would have had to put the title on him in order to that story. But now that you got Sami involved as being kind of that thing, I think Gunther runs a little bit longer with it.
I mean, possibly. If you were going to have Drew McIntyre win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania,
are you going to change all these titles?
But you don't want, Gunther's a heel. You don't want to do heel versus heel, and Drew is going to feud with CM Punk when he gets back.
Yep.
But I mean, Gunther is clearly being primed to move up to the main event. He's starting to wear a suit. That's a telltale sign. Dude starts wearing a suit. You're like, okay, that's you are now main event level caliber. He's getting more mic time too, which is great. He's good at it because basically all he has to do is like, I'm the shit and you're not.
He's got a delivery that
bitch, you ain't even the fart.
He's definitely got a delivery that makes him stand out against some of the other ones that's the people that are getting the mics right now. They all have a different delivery. They all have a different thing they're trying to convey. They all have a different story. They all have a different style, and it makes it more cohesive to me. I mean, it's more of a, as you would say, a spectacle, but it's the circus of you're not getting the same flavor of act at any given moment.
And I kind of like the wrinkle of Gable telling Sami straight to his face, like, no, you can't beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether that means that Gable kind of turns into Sami's coach here as we're going into WrestleMania, I don't know necessarily. It felt like a little Rocky-ish, their backstage segment, and they had 2 segments between Gable and Sami. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, it probably doesn't shock me that if Gunther is still the Intercontinental Championship, it come post WrestleMania.
I'd like to see it on Sami, but
I want Sami to succeed every chance he gets. But the fact that he is able to do, like I said, him and Kevin Owens are able to do so many damn things on that show that they will be successful no matter where you let them be.
Does KO have a Mania match?
He isn't it a 3-way?
Yeah,
with Logan Paul and
oh yeah, that's right.
So he is there to take a pin.
Yeah,
Which
he'll put on a good show though.
Yep.
I mean, the past 3 WrestleManias, he's faced Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's been in the main event, and he's facing now one of the biggest stars that they have in a 3-way with one of the other biggest stars of all time in that company, and Randy Orton. So not a bad spot to be in.
Could be worse for old KO. We've already talked about who is Cody fighting in the promos, and we've got Drew and the Seth promo from last night.
So are you happier now?
Yeah, Seth's doing better. So he's taken some of the advice.
I had to call him.
Yeah. I'm glad you listened to this podcast, Seth Rollins. Take a little bit of advice.
Tighten up, Rollins.
Tighten up. Yeah. Like, there's a time for jokes, but at some point you got to get serious. And
Drew was speaking through you last night because he was like, "Look, cut all the bullshit."
Yep.
Yeah. I love Drew being like, why can't this just be enough spotlight for you? Why can't it just be, I'm the world heavyweight champion, I'm the workhorse champion. Why isn't this enough?
Because I am a spotlight junkie.
And but then so Seth has that joke, but then he gets serious with him, and I like that he cut off Drew when Drew was kind of going off the rails with CM Punk, and he kind of brings him back. But I think Drew and Seth will kick off night 2 of WrestleMania, and I think Seth will take a pin, because I think night 2 of WrestleMania will be all about, is the bloodline and the cronies around Roman and Reigns actually, or Roman and Rock actually going to succeed in taking over WWE.
Yep, you need the drama through that show of the bad guys potentially succeeding in their evil plans.
I still think if I'm on that creative team, I have some sort of segment or some sort of backstage thing with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, where Drew says thank you or something for the help a couple weeks ago, and Roman says something to him, we'll just make sure that, or The Rock says something like, make sure that clown emoji doesn't walk out of here with that title. I'm going to make it disappear. You're the guy. Go get it done. Because it helps tell the story. And I would do the same thing with Gunther, honestly.
I think you're right. I mean, Seth is going to win. It'll be a good way to start off night 2.
Or Drew. Yeah.
Sorry. Drew will win. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Rollins has been, we had an episode about a year ago called Let's Put Some Respect on Seth Rollins' Name.
Yeah, now he's ebbed and flowed since we've done that. There have been moments where it's like, this dude's fantastic. And then
it was funny because we named that episode that, and we talked about him a lot. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, hey, we've got this new belt. We're going to have a tournament, see who wins it. And it was Seth, right?
Yeah.
But see, Seth in the ring is always should have some respect put on his damn name. It's when he gets into into Joker mode, that you have to take it in context of what Batman story they're telling.
And I think sometimes, I'm sure he gets some notes backstage, be like, hey, big dog, you're doing great. Let's rein it in. Just pull it back just a little bit. A little too Jared Leto. Let's get you more Heath Ledger. Yeah, you conducting the orchestra here. A little more of this, less of that. Come on, bring it up, bring it down, that sort of stuff, But he's fantastic, and like he's certainly a better professional wrestler than Roman Reigns. I don't think that's. I don't think that's out of question.
You yelled at me probably, I don't know, however many months ago when I said Will Ospreay's a good hand. Fuck you. Same kind of insult you just said.
No. Well,
he's better than Roman Reigns.
Because Will Ospreay has shown you he's more than just a capable hand. What have I seen from Roman Reigns in the past 3 months?
Yeah, but you just said Seth Rollins is better than Roman Reigns. That ain't saying nothing. That ain't saying nothing. Seth Rollins is right there in the conversation. If Seth Rollins was able to do some of the things that he is capable of doing, he'd be in the same conversation as Will Ospreay.
I don't disagree with that, but I'm just saying, I just want to remind listeners, okay? Once again, this dude in Roman Reigns had the title for... No one even knows because the number doesn't matter because all this shit's made up. So it's not like it's in baseball.
8 billion days.
And there are just guys, much like I said last week, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins. I think there's a multitude of dudes who are better at the art of professional wrestling than Roman Reigns. We just want to remind people. Okay. And he goes, Roman will do his own part probably Friday to remind people because I do not think he's going to have a good show. And if he does, I'll come back on this podcast. And much like I apologize to The Rock, I will apologize to Roman Reigns.
Here's the thing is it'll be fine. It'll have a fine showing. But it's going to pale in comparison to Cody Rhodes.
Right.
He's going to get sunned Friday night by Cody.
And Roman has been in this position for a decade. And you hope he would be better than just fine. If this was John Cena and Cody Rhodes, John Cena would be cooking Cody Rhodes on the mic. Like, was that John Cena line he told Roman a few years ago? I'm still here because you can't do your job.
He did say that.
That is sort of Roman Reigns' entire career to me at this point.
I mean, and it takes Roman Reigns to get me to root for a John Cena.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Y'all got any other notes? You got a card over there. Do we cover all that?
We got it all. We got it on my notes.
What about you, Steven?
I think we're good.
I think that's it. I'm excited about Mania. I'm working on a big project I'll be done with. We have to be done with by the Friday before Mania. So I'm very excited to take the weekend and watch wrestling. Jamie has suggested we do like a themed menu of snacks and things, and I'm very excited. She hasn't revealed the menu to me yet, and at this point I think I told her I think I just want it to be a surprise because she's all in. She's like, fuck it, yeah, I'm watching 2 nights of Mania this year. I think she only watched At It last year.
That's where my house is I'll watch it, but everybody else just kind of hangs, does other stuff. Occasionally somebody will come in if somebody cool comes out that they really like my youngest loves a John Cena moment. So
and there's going to be some matches where I'm gonna hit the kitchen, like, no offense to Rey Mysterio and the LWO, but like whatever he's got cooking at WrestleMania, that'll be a bathroom break. I'll get up and mosey my way somewhere else. But Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, I'm all in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Roman Rock, the tag team, and then Cody Roman, like I'm all in on that.
Jay and Jimmy,
Jimmy. I think Sami and Gunther are going to tear the house down.
Yep.
So there's a lot of good stuff going into WrestleMania.
I'm intrigued about the ladder match.
Yeah.
I do have one last question. What do y'all think? Why is CM Punk going to be on TV next week?
Keep himself relevant.
It's in Chicago.
Just to do a promo, like, hey.
He's a big star. Yeah.
Okay.
And he better eat a fucking kick right to his mush from Drew McIntyre. We'll see if that happens. But
well, we'll end on that note. Y'all follow us at Alabama Slam Pod on Instagram and Threads, and you can look up look up the Alabama Slam podcast on Facebook and follow our network of podcasters at thealabamatake.com and the Alabama Take on all social media. And we will talk to y'all next week.